All right. Welcome, everybody. I did hit record this time. I pulled a real boneheaded move, and last Thursday on my private webinar, I forgot to hit the record button, so I have to go back and re-record the whole thing. So, but we didn't do that tonight. Tonight we got Johnny the King in the house. We're going to be talking Q4 sourcing and I don't know, whatever you guys want to talk about tonight to see if we can't help you make a little money. And then at the end, we've got some giveaways, some online arbitrage stuff, some retail arbitrage stuff. Yeah, it'll be pretty easy trivia to win that stuff. So welcome. All right, Johnny, your sound on okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I know it's Sunday night. I know that kids don't like us necessarily being away on Sunday nights, but we do it for you guys.
That's right.
So you want to tell us a little bit about how you got started, what got you into Amazon, and then we can kind of hop into some tactics.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I got started on Amazon in 2013. I was in college. My wife had just had our second baby, and I was working full-time and going to school full-time, had 2 kids, was married, and trying to juggle all the things at once. And I didn't really have a whole lot to start off with. I started off by like a lot of people do. I sold some of my textbooks from my courses that I'd finished, and was like, well, that's pretty cool. And I got hooked up with Jim Cockrum and went through the Proof of an Amazon course. And that's how I really got, started into doing retail arbitrage. And that kind of continued up until I graduated college in 2014, I guess May, and with a business degree. And the next day I quit my job at a hospital and went Amazon full time. And so it's just been RA and OA like crazy since then. I do a little bit of wholesale and private label, but it's predominantly retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, Amazon flips from there on out. And I mean, that's the story in a nutshell.
Awesome. So when you quit your job at the hospital, were you ready to do that?
No, I thought I was, but I was not. Realistically, I thought, all right, my expenses aren't that much. I live in Oklahoma and the cost of living is really cheap. And so I was like, all right, if I can make, enough to pay myself, $1,500 a month, I could totally quit my job. And whenever I was making enough to pay myself around $2,000 a month, I said, okay, it's time to make the leap and do that. Looking back, if I were to be able to do it again, I would have stayed at the hospital, or maybe, I graduated from college, I had a degree, maybe tried to get a job where I could make more, provide for my family with that for a little bit while longer. And then I would have been able to, plow those profits from my business, snowball that profit. And I think I'd be bigger than I am now if I had went ahead and done that. But I don't regret the risk I took then, because I feel like I've forged a lot of relationships, and I jumped in on opportunities that I don't feel like I would have if I hadn't have gone full time at that point.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. I didn't go full time until January 1st of this year, and I thought that I was completely ready, and I had all my I's dotted and my T's crossed. And of course, like every entrepreneur, that's just not the case. Yeah. So, well, good. So what do you think has been one of the best things that has helped your success and been able to keep you from going back to a job?
Well, I got hooked up with Sam Cohen's group, the ACE Mastermind, which is, I guess, the Amazon Consulting Experts. And that really opened my eyes to a lot of things that, going up and seeing Sam's whole business operation. And I think, the year that I joined up with him for the first year, which was last year, I think Sam, they ended up doing like somewhere in the range of $10 or $12 million in sales. And so for someone who, I guess at that point, I had maybe cracked 20 grand a month in sales for my best month. And going up there and seeing people, what just their warehouse operations and how they were doing online arbitrage and how they were doing Amazon flips, it really opened up my eyes to the possibilities of how scalable the business is and how, what possibilities are if you have a team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so,
go ahead.
And so, that really, after going and talking to Sam, that was whenever I came back home and I got my parents to start working for me. And now my parents do all of my processing for all of my online arbitrage stuff and some of the wholesale stuff that comes in. They'll process that. And right now they're processing all my private label stuff, which I'm probably going to start sending over to a processing facility or a prep center.
Nice. Okay. So rather than outsourcing to a prep center first, you insource to your parents?
Right. Yeah. They are essentially retired, and they have been working for my sister, and they babysit her kids during the daytime, but they were looking just for, a part-time thing, where they could work the hours that they wanted to work. And I was like, hey, I've got a perfect solution for you. And so, I bought them a laptop and got some Dymo printers and a laser printer and set them up in my old bedroom. And so now, instead of it being my bedroom, it's the warehouse.
Nice. Now, do they do your RA stuff, or is it just the OA stuff?
No, they do all my RA stuff and a little bit of the OA. Part of the ACE program is that we get to utilize Sam's warehouse as a prep center because they already have all those logistic things set up. So I send a lot of my OA stuff to Sam.
Okay, awesome. So when you were hitting that 20,000, what other than ACE, or what takeaway did you get from ACE that helped you really kick it up a notch?
Realistically, the takeaway from ACE is part of the program was everyone gets to go up there and see Sam's shop or his warehouse and all his processes. But a big part of that was the people that I met up there while I was there, some other ACE clients. And it really opened my eyes to the benefits of making relationships with other Amazon sellers. And in the beginning, I've seen one or two other Amazon sellers while I'm out doing retail arbitrage, but for the most part, Oklahoma, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of competition in the retail arbitrage space. And so I was always really secretive. I didn't want to share with other people what was going on or, what my strategies were. And, after being a part of ACE, it really opened my eyes to, there's enough opportunity out there for everyone. And so it's more advantageous to share the things with other people and gain knowledge from those relationships that you make with them. So the thing, I guess, the biggest takeaway from the ACE that I've gotten thus far is the importance of building relationships and how important it is to surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yeah, I agree 100%. One of the things I started doing this year, kind of hot and heavy, was going to conferences. And I think that's been one of the biggest drivers of what I've been trying to do in my business this year. And it's those relationships. It's, learning from the people that you meet over a beer after the conference and just chatting and, on Facebook or wherever. So I think that's absolutely huge. So now that Q4 is here, let's see. Miguel has a question. Johnny, is ACE still taking clients? Heard they shut down for new clients till next year.
From what I understand, they still have slots open. I think for the second year round, and I joined up for the second year too because Sam put together a pretty awesome benefit package. I think so. If they say that it's closed, I would get on Facebook and just send a message to Sam Cohen and say that you want to win, and I'm sure that he'd make a spot for you.
Yeah, he is a helpful guy. So and he's very responsive. So Craig's here. Yeah, Craig says they are still taking clients. So since we're in the bowels of Q4, what does your Q4 process look like? Are you heavier on OA? Are you heavier on RA? Are you getting up at 5 a.m. every morning? Take me through your typical day during this Q4 preparation time.
My wife isn't super happy with me right now. Q4 is a hard time in the King household because I'm a firm believer that, the early bird gets the worm, and the people who are going to win during Q4 are the people who are willing to hustle. And that means that, I'm up at probably around 5 every morning. And I'll get up and I'll do some online arbitrage in the morning. I check on my merch account because I'm doing a lot of merch by Amazon right now, which is, a nice little side hustle. I feel like everyone should jump on that. Checking Amazon flips. I have a VA who does all my Amazon account reconciliations, and they deal with my refunds and reimbursements and my feedback. But she also does a lot. She uses tactical arbitrage, or uses my tactical arbitrage account to make me a list of things I should check out during the day. So when I wake up, that's there for me. And and then I try to get out the door as fast as I can. Now I have 3 kids, and so part of being a full-time Amazon seller is I get the opportunity to be at home and have breakfast with my kids, and let my wife take a shower before I head out the door. But then lately it's been late nights. I want to try to be outsourcing as much as I can, because at this point it's a race to get as much inventory into the warehouse as I can before Cyber Monday is. I'm already wishing I had more in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. If you don't mind, would you mind just checking your headphone connection to your computer? Everybody says you're kind of going in and out.
Am I cutting out? Yeah. All right, you got me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
If that continues to be a problem, I have another headset, so I can switch them out. That's not a big deal.
Okay. Yeah, everybody, just let me know in a few minutes what you guys find. And before I have the next question, worse now.
Let me.
I'll let Johnny get a new headset, and then we'll.
All right, 1 second.
Well, while Johnny's doing that, does anybody have questions? You want to type in the chat box, or if you want, I can bring on. You can actually ask yourself. You just let me know what you'd like to do.
All right, you hear me?
I hear you.
Does that work?
Yeah, that's really good. All right, Mike.
My gamer headset.
Mike would like to know what exactly is ACE. And I'm not a member. I'm the odd man out in our little group. But John, if you want to tell everybody what ACE is about.
Okay, well, I'm not really versed in the sales pitch for ACE, but essentially, it's Sam Cohen's group. It's Amy. He says Amazon Consulting Experts, and what they do is they really provide a coaching, mentoring group to where they've made a lot of videos to show you things that they do to really streamline their business. The first year, as being an ACE client, they helped me get ungated in every category, and so they walked me through that, and you really hold your hand, and they take clients. There's people in the group who started off doing just or who are brand new, but people start off with $1,000 in sales per month or $2,000. Up to people who, Lisa, they will help you get ungated in DVD. And I will say now, I was ungated in a lot of categories that are gated now. I was already ungated, like I was grandfathered in to health and beauty and grocery, but I got ungated in DVD and automotive and shoes and sexual wellness. Jewelry and handbags and luggage and all that good stuff. But ACE, essentially Sam is just an extremely successful Amazon seller, and they do a lot of RA and they do a lot of OA. They do a lot of wholesale. They're doing private label. And so, kind of whatever your business model is, you can talk to Sam, and he really helped me identify, what parts of my business were like the bottlenecks, and see, kind of where my pinch points were, and what I might try to do to open those up a little bit. And part of that was that I wasn't doing, I was doing a lot of my own processing still. I was sending some things into prep centers, but I was doing most of my RA processing, in my basement. And he was like, man, your time's too valuable to be doing that. You need to be spending your time going out and finding this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And even at this point, he's been telling me like, hey, like it might be time for you to hire someone to go out and find the stuff. And so essentially, I mean, in a compact nutshell, ACE is a coaching group. They do webinars and monthly coaching calls, and you can talk to Jay Friday and Ike and Sam's employees. That he really just has a great team. He has really, really smart people working for him, and that's another thing that I guess has probably helped boost my business a lot. Is I wasn't using a repricer before I joined ACE, and I just kind of went through and checked my prices about once a week, and they got me hooked up with a repricer and showed me what their settings are on their repricer, and I started using their exact formula, and my sales jumped like 40% instantly. Like the repricer took effect, and so it's those kind of things that they really just a hands-on coaching service. But hey, what's up, Craig? I see his face now. Yeah, I'd recommend ACE to anyone. I think it's a really good deal.
Yeah, and Sam's a good dude. Of course, we're not here pitching ACE, but
sure, no, no. I mean, I'm not. If you join ACE, I don't get any benefit from that. Alex, I use App Eagle, and I use the continuous repricing, so it's doing it all the time.
Now, and I don't know how many people use repricers versus how many don't. And when I started using a repricer for the first time, I also saw that spike in sales. Now, I don't necessarily think that that's a continuous spike, but
no. It doesn't stay. It like it went up and then kind of went down. I mean, and levels off. So, but I will say that my inventory turn rate has increased and stayed at a higher rate.
Yeah, mine too.
Just because you're gonna get more sales. Now, I think realistically my ROI has probably gone down a little bit because that repricer will kind of follow the buy box whenever it takes those low spots. But I'm all right with that. I'd rather have the quick flips and be able to reinvest that capital than have something sitting around for 6 months and get hit with long-term storage fees.
Exactly. Craig is curious. Jenny, were you in merch last Q4?
Yes. Now I got in right before, I think like the week before they gated it or put the invitation only. So I joined in September of last year, but I was stuck at the 25 shirt tier even after I'd sold, because they locked the tiers down in like November. And Deb, if you go to AmazonConsultingExperts.com, that's their website. But now I think I have about 600 shirts up on merch.
Oh, wow.
And, I think I have, I'm at the 2,000 design tier. So I'm trying to crank those out as fast as I can, but it's slow going.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead. I'll be with merch. I'll be very honest and open. I have 211 shirts up. I have space for 2,000, and we bring in about $1,000 a month off of that. And that's, I mean, I haven't put up a shirt in weeks. So over the past 30 days, that's been literally zero work, because I haven't put up a new shirt. I haven't done anything with it, and that's still just money coming in.
Yeah, with 600 shirts, I think I do about, my royalties are probably about $1,700. A lot of my shirts I think have gone stale. And so Um, Marsha, what policy is it you're not happy about? Is the one about them deleting shirts off if they haven't sold within the first 60 days? Realistically, I'm happy about that because I would rather, my slots not be taken up by something that's not selling. I feel like if something's not going to sell within the first 60 days, the likelihood of it becoming a long-term win is not high. And to answer the other question, I outsource most of the designs of my shirts, but I think the important part of outsourcing is that you kind of get an idea of what kind of shirt that you're looking for. And then what I do is I have my VA search for, shirt designs that I'm looking for and make me a spreadsheet, and I'll look over those. And then I send those designs off to a graphic designer, and he makes a custom shirt for me based upon like the changes or, the idea that I have. And so I'll just say, all right, it's an airplane shirt and I want it to look like this and I want to say this. And then he gets about 20 shirts a week to me.
That's pretty good. Let's see. Merch is great. I think that, we'll talk merch for just a second, and then I got some questions from everybody else. I think merch in Q4 jumps up just like everything else does. Of course, not like toys is, the pinnacle of Q4 sales velocity. But last year, I noticed I had one particular shirt that is a Christmas shirt, and it just absolutely flew off the shelf, like 10 units a day for one shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. It was good stuff. Matt's wondering, any good places to read about keyword titles for merch? There's a lot of places. There's no place that's going to give you like, hey, this is exactly what you need to do to figure out what your shirt should be. But I read a great book called Steal Like an Artist. And Lisa, I do outsource for merch designs, mostly to my wife. My wife is a pretty good designer. And then I also have an app on my phone that I'll make text-only designs. So if I see something, I thought about it. Everybody knows Major League, the movie, right? So one of the famous lines from that movie, which I don't think is trademarked, and now of course there's going to be like 10 shirts up now that we've said this, but there's a famous line from that movie, just a bit outside, and that would be great on a shirt, I think, especially with the Indians being in the World Series. But yeah, exactly, Craig. But yeah, Steal Like an Artist talks about how there's really nothing new. And so what you need to do is you need to go out and see what is selling. You need to go out and see what kind of trends there are, and then put your own spin on something that's already out there. Make it better, change something. That's okay. It's not bad to do that by bringing your own spin on something and making a fresh idea out of someone else's idea. So there really is nothing new under the sun. And then, use merchantwords.com and Google for keywords is what I do normally.
Yeah. And, I don't know if anyone uses Keyword Inspector. I've used Keyword Inspector for a while for private label ideas and for building new listings. And you can do a reverse ASIN search on popular shirts, and it will bring back the keywords that those shirts are ranking for. So you can see what keywords are driving traffic to that listing and use those keywords in your similar shirts that are in the same niche. So make sure that you have the search terms that are getting, searches. I mean, that's actually driving the traffic. I feel like that's been a big proponent to the shirts that I have that I actually do well. Now, I'm not opposed to doing shirts that are, for trending topics. Like I made a shirt, you saw Andy Slamon's video for him, bumping that guy off the armrest. I made a shirt that said, "Don't tussle with the muscle." And I sold like 4 of them the first day.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it may have been that Andy bought 4 of them. I don't care. I mean, I think I make, $30 and it took me 2 minutes to put it up. So it's a good return on investment to me.
Exactly. All right. Let's see if there's any other merch questions real quick. Let's see here. Okay, I don't think so. So let's move back to products. Um, Miguel wants to know, Johnny, can you speak on your business model during the year and some specific changes you are making now to prepare for Q4 besides buying more units?
Okay. So my business model during the year is probably, realistically at this point, I'm doing probably like 60% shoes. Um, I send in a lot of shoes during the year, and I talk to Craig a lot. He's a good buddy of mine, and so one of the goals that I had set earlier this year was that I wanted to send in 100 pairs of shoes per month. And for a while, I was doing that, and it worked out really well for me. And then I got an email while I was in Nashville at the CES conference, and it said that all of my Nikes had been restricted, and that hurt, and I ended up being able to talk to Amazon, seller support, and use some receipts that I had to get that reinstated for me so that I'm able to sell Nike again. But that was a wake up call for me, and I wanted to kind of diversify. So since then, I've been doing just a larger range of things. I still do a lot of shoes. I do a lot of clothing. And then my other category, my favorite categories are probably home and kitchen and toys. I love selling toys all the time. I'm just a big kid. And so moving into Q4, I'm focusing more on toys because the velocity just gets crazy during fourth quarter. And with all the exclusives that come out at Target and Toys R Us and Kohl's, you can find things that just really have a great arbitrage opportunity in the market. There's a higher demand than there is supply, and so you'll find those products. Last year there was a lot of hot Star Wars toys that were impossible to find. But living in Oklahoma, I have a lot of rural Walmarts. Almost all of our Walmarts, I think, would be considered rural Walmarts, and so things that people say they haven't been able to find anywhere, like every one of my Walmarts has them. Now, I feel like that's kind of what we talked about a little bit earlier about how important it is to have a group of like-minded people, because one of the things that I did last year with the ACE group is I set up a WhatsApp group with everyone who wanted to be in it from the ACE clients. So we could just share our these Q4 finds that we found. Like if you found something that was a bolo or that was hot at Walmart, you just share that in your group. And so, and a lot of people are scared of doing that, of sharing, their good selling products. But if you share, one good find per week, but you're in a group of 30 other people who do the same, you're going to be able to find a lot of things that are great finds before anyone else. Like it was in that ACE group last year that someone said, you need to check out this pie face game, because people are making these videos to pie face and putting them on YouTube. They're going viral, and they're getting hard to find. And Sam backed that up. He said that he talked to his rep from Hasbro, and they said that they had vastly underestimated the demand for the pie face games, and so you should go and clear the shelf. And I probably sold 300 of them last Q4. And so it's those types of things. I feel like it's really important to hustle on the things that are hot. And so if that's the one thing that I could recommend to people, is that Q4 demands more action than any other time of the year.
I agree 100%. You got me beat on pie face. Did you MF any of those?
Yeah, I think I say I did. My parents did. They didn't like it, but I think I probably merch fulfilled about 100 of them the week before Christmas.
Oh wow. I was able to drive around to all the Walmarts and the week before Christmas and clear them out here in Ohio. In near Columbus, and we got about 80 and sold them all within like a day. and my post office was ticked.
That happened with me with the star showers.
Oh, okay.
I saw, like, I hadn't heard much about the star shower thing, and then someone posted an article that said that it had been on 60 Minutes and that it had gone to #1 in home improvement, and they were selling for $40 at Walmart, and they're selling for $110 on Amazon, and they're ranked #1 in home improvement. And so I found a Walmart that had like 80 of them. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll buy 40 and I'll see how it goes. And I listed them as bird fulfilled for $110, and I loaded them in my car. And by the time I got them all loaded, I had sold 15 of them.
Oh, wow.
And so I went in and bought the other 40. And I ended up buying a little over 100 of those, the star showers, and, probably made, close to $5,000 on that one tip. And that was from, that ACE group, that Q4 group.
That's awesome. And we're going to move to the next question. I'm also going to bring Craig Maxwell on here. We're going to kind of turn this into a little roundtable.
Woo!
So Matt's curious, what's the lowest ROI you guys suggest or recommend? I'm having the biggest issue with turnover and cash flow. Was wondering if maybe lowering my ROI expectations to speed up cash flow would be a good idea. Who wants to hit that one first?
Are you taking this one, Craig, or you want me to?
Oh, Craig, we don't got you.
Well, I could jump on that one until Craig's sound shows up.
Go for it.
Okay, so realistically, right now, my target ROI is about 50%. I like to shoot for 50%. Now, realistically, 40% or 35% is acceptable to me, but I feel like if I buy it in the store, if I can get 50% after all of my coupons or discounted gift cards or any sales that are going on, whatever I can do to finagle the price down as far as I can, if I can get it to where it shows 50% ROI from the time I buy it, then the chance of it actually returning 50% to 40% is higher than if I probably wouldn't buy something with the it's showing 30%, because year round the trend is for prices to go down as people find those same products. But in Q4, that's not always necessarily the case, because as we get closer to Cyber Monday, as we get closer to the weeks before Christmas, the demand for things goes crazy. And so, prices can go up. So in Q4, I would realistically, I say that a lot realistically. In Q4, I might shoot for 40% on things that have a good rank. If I know that I can turn that money. Now, if things don't have such a great rank, I'm going to want to stay with a higher ROI. But if your bottleneck is cash flow and turnover rate, you might consider dropping your prices down a little bit. And don't let anyone shame you for dropping your price. People get on their high horse and say, oh, I don't know why this person would drop their price. We're all sharing the buy box. Your business model is your business model. And if you need to drop the price a little bit so that you can liquidate some stuff, get that cash back to reinvest it in better inventory, do that. And don't let anyone make you feel bad about making it a decision that's the best for your business.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. And I think, too, to add to that, the people that hold their prices the highest are usually newbies. That whole idea of that I have to get 100% ROI, that's how I felt when I first started, and I couldn't believe people would settle for less. But that's just unrealistic. The more product you put out, and as Johnny alludes to, I'm the same model. I'd rather just move things fast and keep reinvesting the cash and over and over again. So I as I mentioned in the chat, I dropped down to about 40% on some things. Obviously, I push for this highest I can get, as everyone probably does, but I also want to move it fast. And sometimes I will adjust my price based on when my disbursement comes. If I know in a few days my disbursement's coming, I might drop the price a bit so that I can get that cash out and go buy more of maybe that same item again.
I like it. Do you guys have any hacks, that maybe people don't really know about for Q4?
Q4 hacks.
Is this better? Is this a better angle on me?
Well, Craig, every angle's a good angle on you.
I'm sitting in a bedroom, everybody. We're at a condo in Florida right now on vacation, so I'm trying to get away from the sound.
It's a rough life.
Living the hard life.
That's right. It's living the Amazon seller life, right?
Yeah.
I'll share one real quick. I shared this in our RA Assassins group. It's one of my favorite holiday hacks. It's Walmart, and I learned this a couple years ago. But if you're not familiar, Walmart has a great layaway program, and basically it's set up mainly for just consumers who can't afford to buy or pay as much towards a product right away, but they can make payments on it over time. And so you could put most items in layaway. I mean, you can't like put food and certain things like that in there, but you can put them in layaway, and you have to put 10% down, and then you can make payments on it through the layaway ends on the 12th of December. And then after that, they pull all the items out of layaway. You don't even have to make payments on it. You can just wait, and when you're ready to pull that item out, you can pay it. Now, the hack isn't to do your own personal Christmas shopping and put it in layaway. What it is, what I do use it for, is there's a lot of items that are this early in the season that I'm not sure about. I'm not sure how effective they're going to be, but I may have a hunch, or there may be an idea, or I don't want to buy 200 of an item just yet. And so what I do is I go buy them and I put them in layaway and I hold them there. And what's really nice is when demand increases on some of these things and everybody's running out, I still have them and I go pull them out of layaway, and then I will either merchant fulfill them if I'm too late in the season, or I will send them in FBA. And I've literally probably stocked away over $10,000 worth of stuff in the last few years in layaway and been able to pull it out, and I've made thousands off of it. And so if you're not sure, or if you've come across items like, I know this is a hot item, but I don't have enough money to buy to clear the shelf, then take them and put them in layaway, and instead of paying $1,000 for all those items, you've paid $100 and you've held them and no one else can take them. And it's kind of a way for you to not have to keep them at your house or even buy them and return them. If you don't want them at the end of the layaway, you can simply just let the layaway expire, or go in and tell them, I don't want these. And the second hack I would say along with this layaway hack is, after December 12th, make sure you go back to your Walmart, because a lot of stuff gets put back on the shelf that you haven't been able to find for a few weeks because people don't fulfill their layaway commitment.
That's awesome. Do you know if you can do layaway at Walmart with tax exempt?
I don't. Actually, I don't know that. I think I tried it, but I actually can't remember if I've used that. I think in the end, when you go to pay for it, you probably can just present your card. So I don't know. I'd try it for sure.
If they make you pay for it when you check out a layaway, the thing I've done before is just take it back up to customer service and say, I just bought this, but they didn't take my tax exempt, and they'll generally pull it off for you.
It's a good idea.
Nice. I have a hack that also involves Walmart. What I do is I like to, whenever I found a few products that I'm trying to replenish or some toys that are hard to find, I use the website BrickSeek to help me find the what products are available in what Walmarts. But if you sign up for a premium membership with BrickSeek, you can set up alerts to where you can put in certain zip codes for certain SKUs, and whenever the stock amount changes for those items, so if there's none in stock, if it goes from being out of stock to where there's 5 in stock, it'll send you an email, which is cool. But if you're not the first one to get there, then you lose. Well, what I found is that you can use the Walmart app and you can search for that product on the Walmart app with that SKU, and then whenever you find it, I think it's in the top right corner, but you can try to search for that product in your local store. And so what you do is you type in the zip code for that store that has them in stock, and you can buy them online or using the app and have them hold them in store for you. And so like if there's, a hot Paw Patrol toy that you can't ever find, if it comes in stock, you can just get on the app and buy it from that store right then. And then you have, the opportunity to get those, and they'll pull it to the back of the store, and you just go and pick them up, that day, or, I think you have to pick them up within a week of whenever you buy them. But that way, if it's somewhere that's kind of, an hour or two away from you, you don't have to get up and drive and hope they're still there. Whenever you get there, you can go ahead and have them pull them and confirm, all right, we have these for you, and then go make the drive.
And I will echo what he says. That I used that 2 years ago on frozen bicycles from Walmart, and I had alerts for every Walmart within 100 miles, and I would go and I'd buy these, and I merchant fulfilled the bikes because they were so heavy. It just seemed better, but it worked beautifully. It's a great trick to definitely, and my alerts always went off, really early in the morning when they had restocked their shelves. And so I'd get up and I'd drive and I'd buy these, I forget what size bike it was, like 18-inch Huffy frozen bicycles. And I bet I sold 30 of them in just a couple week period. And that was a really nice high average sale price. So good. That's a great tip.
Nice. And so Marsha wants to know, Johnny, she's curious if your shoes and clothing is from RA or OA. She says she does okay with OA, but RA finds really hard to do because of the variations, since the phone apps don't give me the same info I can get on the PC.
I do a fair amount. I mean, a lot of the OA that I do is shoes and clothes because it's easier to find the matches there. And I'm sort of lazy with the RA. If it doesn't match, a lot of times I won't, try to search manually for it. But I do a fair amount of RA. Whenever I was doing my 100 shoes per month, I was trying to do 100 shoes a week. Whenever I was doing 100 shoes a week, most of those were from RA, and I was just hitting up TJ Maxx and Marshalls and Famous Footwear and the Nike outlets and Converse and Vans and just going everywhere. And there's a lot of shoes and clothes that will scan. You just have to scan a lot. Now, I use one of the KDC laser scanners, and which are expensive, but man, if you want to talk about a time saver, like I can't stand having my phone and trying to get it to focus. And if I'm in a store that does reading, it seems like it'll never scan. And it's like laser scanner, you can scan things, 10 times a second. It's
the best investment you can make.
Yeah, it's nuts.
As a matter of fact, for everybody here, that is one of the things we're giving away tonight at the end is a KDC 200 laser scanner. So let's see here. Let's see. Lisa asks, and Marsha, since you're on the topic, bear with me 1 second here. I want to ask you a question. What is it that you can get on the PC that you're not able to get out, in the jungle, in doing RA? And while she answers that question, Lisa wants to know, which do you guys utilize more, TA or OA X-ray? I'll start there. I used to have both. And then I got rid of OA X-ray when Tactical Arbitrage came out, and I am solely a Tactical Arbitrage guy now. I think that the depth and breadth of features is much better than OA X-ray, and I feel that Alex is pivoting so often to try to bring new features that it's kind of bar none the best software for online arbitrage out there right now. And I know I'm a little biased. I know Alex is a friend, but if his software was garbage, I'd tell him to his face. So I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you guys.
You'd fly to Australia and tell him to his face.
Well, yeah, if he'd have me, sure. That'd be a good reason to go to
I
Australia.
would too.
So, okay. So Marcia says, oh yeah, do you guys use OA X-ray, tactical arbitrage? Do you guys have an opinion?
I used both, and I'm kind of in the same boat that you are. I thought that they both had kind of their own place and benefit, but in the last couple of months, tactical arbitrage has just increased so much what it can do, and I've actually begun to find more product with tactical arbitrage than I can possibly afford to buy. And so, that's a great problem to have because I can be really particular about the things that I want to buy. But it made me wonder, like, why is it that I'm still paying for OA X-ray? And if OA X-ray came out with a new feature that tactical arbitrage didn't have, I might be happy to join back. But for right now, I'm just doing tactical arbitrage.
Yeah. And Lisa, full disclosure, I am an affiliate. If you want to try it out, I can get you in there for 10 days rather than the 7. And that way you can have a little bit extra time to play with it if you're not already in there. Okay, Marcia says she uses RevSeller, and how many, and can I sell it, and TA Popular products. So I'll tell you guys something that I haven't told anybody. I haven't even told Craig and Johnny. In the next, by November 11th, there will be a way to look at variations within clothing and shoes on your phone. It's going to look a lot like Tactical Arbitrage Popular products, but it will be mobile enabled and ready to go. So all you've got to do is copy and paste an ASIN, and you'll be able to see exactly what color and what size will sell the best. And that should be available the 11th or the 12th. So from yours truly. Let's see. Okay, Santosh has a question. When sourcing for toys at the moment, should we be buying toys based on current ROI or on a guesstimate that the product will sell at a higher price? I'll let you guys hit this.
Okay, realistically, for my model, I'm way too much of a data guy to just buy things on speculation of the price increasing. Now, that being said, there are products that have been year over year that have gone out of stock from Amazon, and you can get on the Keepa data and see, around Cyber Monday or in the weeks leading up to Christmas, these products have gone out of stock and the price has gone way up. And those I might be inclined to go ahead and buy, 20 or 30 of it and try to give it a go. But right now, like, I wouldn't go and buy new Star Wars Rogue One toys anticipating the price to go up because, you never know what kind of quantity Amazon has in stock of an item if there isn't data to show you that this is something that they've gone out of stock on, in a pretty regular basis. And with toys, there are toy sellers like Toyberg and Toy Wiz and stuff that have huge companies. And like last year, I bought I bought probably about $2,000 worth of Shopkins, and my Shopkins shipment came in about 3 weeks after Amazon and Toyberg and all these other people got their Shopkins shipments in. And I was lucky to get my money back on those. The price tanked so hard. And so, I really prefer to have solid data that shows that the price on this has historically gone up at some point.
Yeah, I agree. I've said this over and over again over the past week or so. I'm an impatient seller. I want my items to get checked in, and then I want them to sell, and I want to flip that money again, because I believe that we make money when we purchase, and having that money sit on the shelf at an Amazon fulfillment center is an opportunity cost that I'm not willing to pay. So if I don't know that it's 100% sure that it's going to go up, then I would buy it at today's price rather than what it may be on December the 23rd when that dad is trying to figure out what to get his kids for Christmas. Yeah, and like Johnny said, if there are things that do go out of stock annually, Lincoln Logs go out of stock like every single year. Not too long after Black Friday or something. There are those toys that you can buy and know, okay, well, I can hold out for $75 on this $30 item, but there's not a whole lot that I would do that with.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. And there's only a few items so far this year that I have bought and maybe even gone a little deep on that, but I have, and they're newer, but I have I feel like good intel to say that they're going to be, the price has not gone up on them yet, but the velocity at which they're selling is so high that it's kind of like the pie face game last year, where the velocity was so high, the demand was so great, that even though at one point there was nearly 600 sellers, people were still going very deep. Just like Johnny, just like Chris said, I sold 200 to 300 of them, and they all sold in about a day when they hit. And I think I waited till the sellers got down to about 300 something to move mine and get the price I wanted. So there's a few items like that, but overall, I just go on the data that either historical data, the last 90 days, and some of it now that this is, I've been through several Q4s. I feel like I have just a good hunch on some things, but I'm more of a data-driven guy as well. And if it's profitable now, and it's shown to be historically profitable or good ROI, then that's what I'm going with. And if it gets better, then it's just a bonus. I think, to me, more so than the increase in price on things, which is great, it's the velocity that is where I make most of my money in Q4, is just getting a lot of an item that's going to sell a lot. It's a volume play.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's see. What other questions does anybody have? Want to see if we can answer just a few more before we wind it down. Craig's got vacation to get back to, and I don't want to hold him up too long.
On the bundles question, fourth quarter I don't bundle really, because of the time involved in prepping bundles. Usually, I've done a few, but if it involves, if it's like some sort of Christmas type basket or something, I typically don't do them. If the profit was high enough, I probably would, for me. But to me, I've just found they're really time consuming to build an original bundle, especially maybe if it's already been pre-built and it's just one or two items that you bundle together. I'm good with that, but other than that, I probably don't, and I'm probably missing out on a lot of money with it. But for me, it's a time issue.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. I've never done bundles really very much at all, because, well, my downfall as an Amazon seller is the fact that I'm lazy. And so I don't want to go into a bunch of work of putting things together. I think if I were going to do bundles for Q4, it would be something that I have planned either in the second quarter or the third quarter. It's just a pre-planned investment. I'm going to build it, and I'm going to make it, and I'm going to, ship it in and then do what I need to do PPC wise come fourth quarter to actually sell it.
I've done one or two bundles every Q4. They're generally, like for last year, I sold a bundle that had candy canes in it, and it was like 4 different kinds of candy canes, and 3 of them you could get at Walmart, and one of them I could only buy from a store that was local here in Oklahoma. So I had less problem with people jumping on my bundle. And I put those up for sale probably in late October, early November, and didn't really sell much until the first weeks of December, and then they just started flying. And I I mean, I sent in probably 10 to begin with, and then I didn't send in more until the velocity picked up on those. But it was one of those things that I decided it was worth the time to try, and it was, I mean, but no, I wouldn't send in a whole lot of them just because I found my time was better spent trying to find items that were higher velocity. As far as, let's see the question up here. Lisa asks, volume and velocity rather than seasonal price volatility. Yeah, I like to try to find the items that are good and have a high velocity. I mean, in Q4, I'll take an item that I can make $10 on, even if it costs me $30 and I'm only getting like a 30% return. If it sells as soon as it gets to the warehouse, I'll go to every Walmart in the state and buy every one of those. And even if it's a 30% return, because $10, like if I can buy 1,000 of them, I'll do that in a second.
Well, and I would just say that's such good advice. And what I did in the past too, and I would encourage you all to do this, is if you find that item like he's talking about, where it's selling as soon as it hits, call your family, call your friends in other states, ask if they'll go out and buy it, even offer them a percentage of the sales on them, send them the labels, have them ship them in. That's what I did last year on some Pie Face and some Star Wars stuff that was selling really well that I just could not find anymore in my area. Maybe it's because Chris came down and bought them or something. But so, I mean, exactly. I think the velocity is where you're going to – I mean, obviously, Lisa, if you can get both, that's like the the ultimate Q4 opportunity is to get price and velocity on that. But, just be creative on how you can acquire more, especially if you don't have any wholesale contacts or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if this is your first Q4, Lisa, or not, but the sales velocity that you'll see come, Black Friday and Cyber Monday is, something that's ranked. Well, Pie Face. Pie Face was ranked between 1 and 5 last year, pretty much all the way through Christmas and even after Christmas. And you're talking about selling probably, I would guess, almost 50 to 75 units an hour, maybe more, at that low of a rank. And typically outside of Q4, somewhere in the 1 to 5 rank, you're talking 100, 150 units a day in toys compared to, that much per hour. So you'll definitely see the velocity increases very nicely. I think you'll like it. Miguel asked, can you guys address some specific tactics for Black Friday? Maybe some models for the ones with low cash and those with high cash. I'll go first. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Don't go out on Black Friday.
That's my answer.
Yeah, don't do it. You want to do some online arbitrage? Go for it, but don't subject yourself to that. It's not worth any amount of money, in my opinion. And you can find deals every other day of the week without having to deal with, the nut jobs who are willing to push you down and walk over you to get $5 off a TV
and stab you in the parking lot.
Exactly, I forgot about that. But yeah,
I go out on Black Friday. I love it. I think it's fun. And I don't stab people or shove old ladies over. But this year I'm considering I do it. But for me it's fun and I enjoy doing it. And I've made a lot of money in Black Friday. But I don't really go for the TVs or the big things that they're really pushing. So for me, strategy wise, it's usually a Walmart or Target or Toys R Us. And I just I get the flyers. I kind of map out what I know is going to be good items, and that's what I go for. And I actually go out on I know I probably will receive some flack for this. I go out on Thursday night after we're done with Thanksgiving, and I go out almost till about 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I'm done. I don't really go out on Friday So, but Black Friday now seems to start on Tuesday. So that's what I do. As far as what I recommend you look for, it's like I said, I don't go for the things that everybody's going for. I cleaned house on pajama sets last year at Walmart. I bought hundreds of pairs of pajama sets.
Are we talking like licensed pajama sets? Okay.
Yes, and they were like $4.75 at Walmart, and PJs for kids, and $4.75, and I just filled my cart with them. And same with bedding sets for kids. And the year before that, I did really well with licensed sheets, like sets for kids' beds at Target, and just bought tons and tons of those. And then there's usually a few toy items that I will target, not the store target necessarily, but that I will aim for that I've done really well with. But the key, I can tell you the absolute key, and this is the reason why I go out Thursday night, stay up till the middle of the night Friday, is then to get them shipped on Friday afternoon. So that you can beat everyone into the stores. And I'm telling you, that is one reason it's worth hiring people to help you, is getting them to the warehouse faster than everyone else will make you a lot more money, I think. And so, but I don't think you lose out if you don't go out on Black Friday. I just tend to like it. It's my Super Bowl kind of thing.
I can understand that. One thing, my wife really enjoys going out after Thanksgiving dinner. The in-laws are over. She needs to get out of the house so she doesn't shoot anybody, and so she does go out. And one of the things that I have her do, and what I would suggest everybody does if they want to go out themselves or if they have family going out, if you go to Target, they normally have like $20 off coupons. Grab as many as you can. You get to use those for like a week or two after Black Friday. And last year, after I stacked that with another discount, I think I ended up getting like 15 or 20. What was that video game? Guitar Heroes for like $30 a pop. It was an insane deal, all because I had those $20 off coupons.
And I would just look at the newspapers and those Black Friday ads, or just like I said, they kind of do the whole week now. Last year, I had better look at Target leading up to Black Friday than I had on Like, there was great stuff available on Monday and Tuesday, like some deals that they had on games, kind of like the buy two, get one free type deal that they promote, or if you get $100 in toys, get 25% off kind of coupons. Those were really nice leading up before Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
I think that this year, my strategy for Black Friday and the whole weekend, Black Friday through Cyber Monday, is going to be running tactical arbitrage like a crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I've made a lot of money in the last few years. That's been my primary Black Friday strategy, is to capitalize on the deals that people who are trying to compete with each other, Walmart and Target, Kohl's, Amazon. I mean, I look on jet.com a lot this year to see, if they're going to be trying to push to beat Amazon on Cyber Monday, and there's going to be a ton of awesome arbitrage opportunities. And that's, for me right now, time is the most important thing. And so my return on investment might not be as high doing OA, but my return on time invested is much higher, because I can spend, $2,000 or $3,000 in an hour or two, opposed to, driving around for an hour or two and being able to, spend, $100 at this store, $300 at this store, and bouncing around. That's my personal model, is just stay at home and do a lot of clicking.
Yeah, I agree. What are some of the best places, or what are some of your favorite places for retail arbitrage in the fourth quarter, for toys, home goods, gifts, etc.?
Man, for me, it's okay. Don't get mad. The answer is everywhere you go. Your friends and family should be embarrassed to be with you, because you won't stop scanning things.
Yep.
Like everywhere.
I scan at Dunkin' Donuts. I scan at 7-Eleven. If it has a barcode on it, I'm scanning it.
Yeah, like my wife is like, "What are you gonna find, for fourth quarter at the Dollar Tree?" I'm like, "Money at the Dollar Tree." No, okay. My probably my favorite places, and I've mentioned these before, are they seem like the mainstream places, but that's where the money are, and that's Walmart, Target, Walgreens, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. What I like to do, sometimes I will go on to these discount gift card websites like Card Cash or Raise, and I'll see what stores have the best rates right now, and then I will try to go find things in those stores that I can turn into money. And I found new stores. Like I've never bought anything from PacSun before I found out that they were, had like 30% off gift cards, and I went in there and spent $1,000 on Nikes.
Oh yeah.
Like Q4, things go nuts. You can find things everywhere. But like I said, I really like Walmart, Target, Walgreens, Kohl's. The big places.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And, don't just think toys. I'll be honest with you. Right after toys, my favorite thing to shop for fourth quarter is groceries. One, you've got all the pumpkin spice, and everybody wants it. It's as long as it's still good after fourth quarter, people pay even higher price for it. And two, you've got Thanksgiving. You've got Halloween coming up, which means candy. You can make a ton of money on candy. Then you've got Thanksgiving, and then you have Christmas, and then you have New Year. And other than booze, the biggest thing that people do is eat. And surprisingly enough, a lot of people buy that stuff on Amazon. It's not everybody's going to the store to buy that stuff. I think I sold like 75 cans of canned pumpkin last year. It sells. So,
man, Chris, what you need to do is make yourself a pumpkin spice bundle.
There you go. See, I probably should.
Go get 3 items from Walmart and 1 item you can only buy at Target. It's going to make it harder for people to buy. And
there we go. See, that's
welcome.
Great. Oh, thank you. See.
Yep.
So
definitely the food aisle at Walmart, like the holiday food aisle, is a great for quick sells. I do think you have to be careful with those, though. They do drop in price fast because eventually everyone finds out about it. But if you do create even a small bundle with that, I think that might be real effective. And I would agree with Johnny. I can't add any stores to that. Really, it's all of them. But my favorite is probably Walmart during that time, just because I feel like they become your wholesaler in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And the demand becomes so high, December 13th on sort of thing, that that stuff will just sell and sell and sell.
Yeah, absolutely. Any last minute tips before we get to some? We'll tell you what we have for everybody here, and then we'll also do a couple of giveaways. No? All right. So for everybody here, one of the things that we decided to put together for you guys is, as you know, we do run RA Assassins, and that is Retail Arbitrage Assassins. It's a private Facebook group where we put out retail arbitrage, and we're getting into a lot more online arbitrage leads. And of course, we do want to grow that group. We think it's well worth the investment. And so everybody who's here can get a 3-day trial and come in and take a look and see if it might be something for you. Just send me or Craig or Johnny a message, and we'll make sure to get you in so you guys can kind of peek inside at what kind of things we have. I think as Q4 progresses, I think it's going to get even better. The deals get better. Marcia, the cost is $150 a month. last month. You know, a lot of people think that's high for a sourcing group. We're a premium sourcing group. Last month, if you just bought one of the items, what was it, Craig? If you bought one item.
Well, we posted over 250 leads, and if you would have somehow, and I understand that's not realistic, been able to acquire one of every item we posted, you would have made $5,500.
Yeah. So, and we do education. We do the leads, of course. You get a spreadsheet. They're also in the group. And we answer questions. There's 5 of us, so there's never a shortage. Even when I've been traveling a lot. I know Craig's traveling now, so there's never really a shortage of information in the group. And I think as Q4 progresses, I think things are going to get even better. And we may even set up a little bit of a WhatsApp. I think we were talking about, so that we could kind of get things out to people even faster. So.
Yeah, and I'll say a couple things to add to this. I just privately messaged Johnny to ask him this, but he's going to be posting quite a bit on Black Friday weekend from this, major focus he's doing with tactical arbitrage. I know that those of us that are out in the stores will be posting a lot as well, and I promise that I will be showing you and sharing with you exactly what I'm buying on Black Friday weekend. That's one of the things that the group, so you'll get to see. Hopefully we can do live posting. We're in the store, and you can see them right away. So if you're out there, you might want to grab them. If we do the WhatsApp group, then that will be something that the entire group can participate in posting. Hey, I'm finding this, and then we can all benefit from it. And last month, primarily what we posted were retail arbitrage leads. This month, we are doing both retail arbitrage leads, and we're starting to pile on online arbitrage leads as well. And then we are even planning on doing a lot of Amazon flips as the group goes on. So we really just each week, each month, we're trying to add more value to it. I think you can make your $150 back within a few days if you take action. That's Absolutely. Just my opinion.
Melanie, how many people are in the group right now? I believe that we have 32, 33, not a whole lot. I believe that we're going to cap it at 100. And if people started, saying, pounding on the door and we didn't have room, we could always start a second group that did not cross over any leads. But, right. 100 is a lot of people to, I don't think we'll get there. But we also post enough leads that I don't think we'll water down the prices either.
Well, I want to add something. I am intending to do the WhatsApp group. I kind of brought that up beforehand, but I think, even if you guys aren't cool with it, I'll do it on my own. But I feel like something that should be said is that my first real interaction with Craig was in the ACE Q4 WhatsApp group that we had last year. And that was whenever I kind of had a little bit of interaction with him, and that's how we ended up kind of in a mastermind group together. And so I think that it's worth saying that it's important, even if it's not in this group, to try to find a group of people that you can get into that sort of relationship with, where you're sharing leads and you're trying to grow other people's businesses together with your own, because you will forge these partnerships that are lasting and that are worth so much more than what it costs to be in the group. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would second that. Just knowing Johnny and Craig and and Rob and Ahmad, and other guys, meeting Alex from Tactical Arbitrage and Nate, and it's just knowing these guys and being able to bounce ideas off them have made me more money than anything I could pay them back for. So. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if we don't have anything else, go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and post it here. If you are interested, I'm trying to post it in the chat, is a link to the Gumroad page, and you can read more about what RA Assassins is if you want to sign up. And, or you can, like I said, you can message us us on Facebook if you have specific questions. Honestly, we don't want you to sign up if you don't think you can use it. If it's, we really do want you to make money. We don't want you to waste your money. And so no pressure from us. We think it's the best value out there. But we want you to make money. And if you can't, then, that's okay. It's not for you.
Exactly. Yeah. No hard feelings whatsoever, because it really is, it's business. So, and don't forget, just reach out to us. We'll get you in for a 3-day trial so you can kind of peek behind the door. But now that we've done that, so what we've got is we have I think we have 1 free month of RA Assassins to give away. We've got a KDC 200 to give away. And we also, I've got an extension I haven't released to the public yet. Well, a few people. I know Marcia has it here in the group, called Stock Up, that we're going to give away. So we got 3 giveaways. And since there's 3 of us, I'm going to put you guys on the spot. And how about one of you guys give us, each one of you give us a trivia question, and the first person to answer correctly on this one wins a KDC scanner.
Ugh, on the spot here. A trivia question?
Yeah, trivia question, whatever you got. And if you guys need a second to think, I can pull one out of my hat.
I would like a second to think.
Okay.
I need to phone a friend.
Okay, so this one's gonna be toy related since we're in Q4. In what 20th century decade was Barbie's boyfriend Ken first made? First person to answer gets a KDC 200. Yeah, daggone, Alex is on it. Yeah, 60s. Alex wins a KDC 200. Alex, I need you to reach out to me on Facebook. Private message me. I'll get your address and I'll shoot you a scanner. And we'll get that out to you. Hopefully you can use it this Q4. You guys ready? Can you handle another one? Or you need me to keep going?
I'm trying to.
All I know is like sports trivia, so I don't think it's.
We could do. Marcia, I'll send you a private message. I've got a link for you to get them for the best price on the internet, and they're guaranteed. I'll tell you what. I'll go. I got these guys. So this one.
Sorry, I really dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Here, huh?
I put you guys on the spot. This one's going to be for my extension Stock Up, which is kind of reverse Keepa. Keepa only allows you to track prices down, but let's say that you have a product that you replenish on a regular basis and the price is tanked, and you need to wait for it to come back up. Rather than looking at it once a week or once a month, Stock Up will just shoot you an email and say, hey, it's time to go buy this because it hit your target price. So the question for this one is, it's going to be an easy sports question. In Canada, what is the NHL?
I know.
National Hockey League. Pam got it. Pam, do you already have Stock Up? If you do, you can. Okay, so Pam now has the right to. Yeah, it is a trick question, but that's why it's easy. Pam, shoot me a message, and I will gift Stock Up to whoever you want to have it. All right, the last one's going to be a little bit harder because this is going to be for a free 1 month in RA Assassins. And let's see. Bear with me 1 second here. Oh, that's way too easy. All right. Kirk Douglas was in which of the armed services in World War II? Navy. Stacy, you got it. Kirk Douglas was in the Navy. So, Stacy, if you can reach out to me, we'll get you into the RA Assassins group, and you get 1 month for free. All right. Guys, Craig, Johnny, I really appreciate you guys being here. I hope everybody got a little something out of this. You are going to get emailed a follow-up with the replay, and then everybody that won, just shoot me a message, and I'll get you guys taken care of.
Hey, thanks for having me, Chris.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good Q4.
Yep.